Nissan Patrol, an SUV icon that spans over 7 decades. Even today, this is an epitome, a quintessential SUV, a model that's all about setting the standard for what an SUV can do. Even the current generation that has been around for way too long feels competent. What's new for 2024? Can it keep pace with much younger rivals? Stay with us to find out. With the current generation entering its 14th production year, it's obvious that Nissan needs yearly updates to keep the Patrol relevant, especially after the introduction of the all-new Land Cruiser last year. Such a set of circumstances finally made Nissan launch the long-awaited Warrior version, exclusive for the Australian market, a moniker that's already been used in Navara. In the case of this SUV, the list of upgrades is a little bit different. First of all, the number of visual enhancements is a little bit smaller compared to the mid-size pickup. The Patrol Warrior differentiates from the standard model in several ways, starting from the black side mirrors and exterior trim, Warrior decals and badges, black inserts in the rear bumper, and Warrior-branded skid plates. Moreover, you can also notice new 18-inch wheels, along with massive 34.4-inch tires, which are some of the largest sold in a new vehicle. But the Warrior is also about mechanical upgrades. And the first thing we should mention is a reworked suspension. Of course, there is still the well-known hydraulic body motion control system, but with redesigned front springs, new rear springs, progressive rate bump stops, and many more. Combined with bigger tires, the new suspension brings a respectable 50mm increase when it comes to ground clearance. Logically, other essential off-road measurements go up as well, including the approach angle that's now 40 degrees, while the track is wider by 40mm. The Warrior doesn't fall short of interior updates either. It comes with a new black color scheme and high-gloss inlays on the center console, while seats, doors, and parts of the dash are now wrapped in Alcantara. Unfortunately, the Patrol Warrior doesn't bring any engine upgrades, even though many reports were suggesting we could see something similar to the Patrol Nismo, which is sold in the Middle East. The Patrol is sold around the globe, but you will hardly find it in Europe and North America. It's even available in the US with the Armada moniker, but it never managed to mark decent sales numbers. That's because the Patrol is not meant for perfect road conditions. Even though it is a very luxurious vehicle, it's super capable, equally impressive often on the road. It's meant for heavy exploitation, and therefore it rather comes with a larger and proven engine than something smaller and with a turbocharger, with something that's more efficient but not exactly bulletproof. In other words, the 2024 Nissan Patrol remains one of the rare SUVs with 8 cylinders. It comes with a good old 5.6-liter naturally aspirated V8, which puts out around 298 kilowatts and 560 newton meters, or 400 horsepower and 413 pound-feet of torque. And besides strong driving dynamics and all the smoothness you can expect from a V8 engine, it also offers a super high level of reliability and durability. Another part of this setup we really like is the 7-speed automatic transmission, which is very smooth and refined, with quick and on-time shifts. The two units work great together, at least in terms of performance. The trade-off, as you may presume, is the fuel economy, which is among the worst in the class. In numbers, that would be nearly 15 liters per 100 kilometers. But the large and thirsty V8 isn't the only ancient engine that still powers the Patrol. In parts of the world, like the Middle East, you can also find a little bit smaller, a 4-liter V6 with 275 horsepower reserved for entry-level variants. The current generation Patrol may be old, but it still checks all the boxes that matter, starting from a pretty attractive styling. Namely, the current generation received 2 facelifts, which doesn't surprise considering the age. The more recent one happened 2 years ago, and it was pretty radical. It brought a completely new suit, which is the main reason why the Patrol still feels so competitive. The company applied a completely new design language with super modern C-shaped headlights, while the rest of the front-end design also looks quite futuristic. Of course, the rest of the body follows this aesthetical approach. On the other hand, the updates weren't so substantial on the inside. Moreover, things look pretty similar to the initial model that was introduced back in 2010. From today's perspective, the dashboard definitely looks like it comes from another era of the automotive industry. And if you're fine with that, then there's definitely a lot to like about this cabin. One of the first things that come to mind is the quality and the overall premium feel of this interior. Namely, the Patrol is closely related to the luxurious Infiniti QX80 and shares most of the parts on the inside. That manifests in materials and attention to detail you wouldn't normally see in a car with a mainstream badge. Besides quality, the Patrol also offers a long list of modern tech and safety features, though it's good to know that the actual layout largely depends on the part of the world you live in. Left-hand drive models received a massive update and now feature a modern 12.3-inch infotainment screen with smartphone integration and other goodies. For some reason, Nissan didn't offer the same update in the right-hand drive version, which still has a much smaller screen and lacks smartphone integration. But what's most important is that the Patrol still feels very competent in terms of the ride quality. That is mainly because of the advanced suspension setup, which, besides typical components you would expect to see in this class, such as the independent four-wheel suspension, also features a so-called hydraulic body motion control system. There are actually two hydraulic systems connected by cross-link pipes, with hydraulic cylinders that absorb road imperfection in such a nice fashion. They make the Patrol not just smooth and super comfy, but also quite engaging because the system removes the need for an anti-roll bar. The SUV acts surprisingly well in corners, with minimal body lean. At the same time, this is a genuine off-road suspension, with excellent articulation. Speaking of off-roading, the Patrol comes well-equipped, even in the most basic variants. Even base models come standard with a four-wheel drive, rear-locking differential, hill descent control, and an off-road camera. The 2024 Nissan Patrol brings one big novelty to the Australian market: the aforementioned Warrior trim, which is all about off-road upgrades, a more rugged appearance, and similar things. The rest of the lineup remains largely the same, and it is actually pretty simple. The offer starts with the TI trim, which includes standard features like 18-inch wheels, LED fog lights, 8-inch infotainment screen, 6-speaker audio, tri-zone climate control, leather upholstery, power-adjustable driver's seat, 360-degree camera, front and rear parking sensors, and many more. Also, there is a more luxurious version of the SUV called the TIL with upgraded second-row seats, roof rails, a power-adjustable steering wheel, 13-speaker audio, a digital rear-view mirror, heated and cooled seats, and many more. On the other hand, if you look at the version for the Middle East market, things are way more complex. There are 9 variants in total, though we can divide them into 3 main groups. First of all, there's the most basic XE trim, which is pretty much a workhorse equipped with the aforementioned V6 engine and a short list of convenience features. Then you have a couple of SE badged models, such as T2, Titanium, and Platinum, which are all about convenience. Then the LE offer starts, and besides more standard equipment, the key difference compared to lower grades is under the hood, as LE badged models come with a V8 engine. What is important to mention is that both within the SE and LE range, you can find variants either with off-road or what Nissan likes to call a premium bumper. Basically, the former is optimized for off-roading and offers a way better approach angle. The premium bumper, on the other hand, looks way sportier but feels way more on-road focused. Speaking of the lack of off-roading aspirations, it's worth mentioning that some variants come with massive 20-inch wheels. The Middle East is a pretty specific part of the world where automotive performance isn't displayed on the track, but rather in the desert. Therefore, it doesn't surprise that even Patrol comes in the Nismo version, tuned by Nissan's performance division. This is way more than just an appearance package, as there are numerous mechanical upgrades as well, starting from a nice engine boost. Instead of 400, the 5.6-liter V8 is tuned to 428 and comes in combination with Nismo dual exhaust for perfect engine note. Styling-wise, one of the first things you'll notice are the massive 22-inch wheels, along with a complete body kit that includes aggressive front and rear bumpers with red accents, Nismo grille, side fender vent, over fenders, roof rails, and signature F1-inspired rear fog light. On the inside, The Nismo steering wheel with Alcantara and carbon print inserts definitely stands out, while we also like Nismo's tachometer, as well as the dual-tone door grille. Unfortunately, this super hot version of Nissan's full-size SUV will remain exclusive to this part of the world, and although some hoped for, it won't make it to Australia. The 2024 Nissan Patrol is already here, and just like the previous model year, it stands out with a quite attractive price tag, which is notably lower compared to the key competitor, the Land Cruiser. In Australia, the Patrol starts already at around 85,000 Australian dollars, while the new Warrior trim costs around 101,000. In the Middle East, the price starts at around 210,000 dirhams for models with the V6 engine and 240,000 dirhams for V8-powered models, which would be around 57,000 and 65,000 US dollars respectively. The Nismo version, on the other hand, starts at around 398,500 dirhams, or 108,500 US dollars if you prefer. What do you think about the 2024 Nissan Patrol? Let us know in the comments section, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.